Rahm Emanuel got an earful from a liberal political podcaster named Jennifer Welch. Now, she hosts the I've Had It podcast. And true to the name of the program, she apparently has had it with the former Obama chief of staff and neoliberal hack. In fact, during a conversation about where the Democratic Party went wrong, Welch went off.
Okay, the only room we were do really well was the bathroom. And that's the smallest room in the house.
That is such bullshit. That is total bullshit. That is buying into the right-wing media narrative. And I'm so sick of Democrats like you selling out and saying this. You know who talks about trans people more than anybody? MAGA. MAGA is the most genital-obsessed political party I have ever seen. Kamala Harris talked about home ownership. She talked about kitchen table issues. Trump's over there droning on about Hannibal Lecter. Are you kidding me? This is where the Democrats lose because we're playing the game with the rule book. They've ripped the rule book up and are cramming it down everybody's throat. And Democrats are upset because Joe Biden pardoned his son. We got to fucking fight. They're the gender obsessed weirdos, not us. We're the ones who fight for Social Security. We fight for Medicare. And yeah, we're not going to bully trans people. We're not going to fucking do it. Fine.
Oh, hook it into my veins. Oh, I love it. Look, she's right. Trans people did not cause the Democrats to lose. Okay? He's wrong. What then was the problem here? Economic issues. Democrats not fighting hard enough for their base, not representing their base. Now, I'm not saying that Harris didn't have some good plans. She did, yes. But her problem is that she's too much like Rahm Emanuel. She distanced herself from the left, didn't really advocate for trans people at all, okay? Hung out with Liz frickin' Cheney, crowed about how our military is the most lethal, and wouldn't come out against the genocide in Gaza. Okay, so that's the problem here. Her campaign not only failed to turn out the mythical moderate Republican, because that's what they were trying to do, they also failed to turn out Democrats. Democrats that had voted for Joe Biden previously. So the base was very, very clear, okay? Stop sending weapons to be used in a genocide against Palestinians and distance yourself from Joe Biden. Do something to rein in the corporations, help people with student loans, raise people's wages, and actually fight against Republicans instead of calling them our friends and agreeing with them on things, okay? Now, that said, she continued with her criticism and didn't pull any punches.
It upsets me. It upsets me so much because we live here in this red state, and you see the damage of it. When I see politicians that are supposed to be leaders in the Democratic Party buy into the narrative that Republicans have defined us by, instead of fighting and saying, you're the weirdos that are obsessed with it. Yeah, we're not going to bully some trans kid. And we buy into their narrative. It's why I think we lose. And I have to live in a state where rape victims can't get an abortion because of this bullshit. And so I'm going to fight till the bitter end, and I'm not going to let some MAGA moron define what progressive values are. And I think it's a really dangerous precedent, Mr. Emanuel. I'm sorry, but I have to push back. And I'm not some coastal elite liberal.
I love that. She just steamrolled right all over him. I love it. I love it. All right, look, here's the thing about Rahm Emanuel. This guy's a POS who happened to be one of the closest people to President Joe Biden. This is a guy who was also mayor of Chicago when they covered up evidence of the murder of Laquan McDonald by a police officer. They covered it up for over a year while Rahm Emanuel was facing re-election. That's who this guy is, all right? He even went to court, by the way, to prevent dash cam footage of a clear murder from being released because he thought, oh, man, I'm not going to get reelected if this gets out. That was just when he was the mayor of Chicago. And even before that, he was a piece of crap. All right. During his tenure as Obama's chief of staff, he made sure that the stimulus package in 2008 was directed to the rich. He also nearly killed the ACA before he was even launched. Look, I've said before, ACA, nowhere near enough. And this guy says, no, it's too much. The Heritage Foundation healthcare plan is too progressive. Too much. We can't do that. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And again, we're not even talking about universal healthcare, which this guy helped kill. He reportedly would make backroom deals to protect the interests of the drug industry, the pharmaceutical industry, and the for-profit hospital industry in exchange for campaign money. Even if it meant reversing campaign promises to include a public option or other policies. Public option. But again, he thought the ACA was too much. And even Obama was like, nah, dog, I'm going to have to ignore you on this one and at least push for the ACA. And yet, this is a great example of somebody who pushed Obama to the right. He's pushing everything to the right, and he wants to push the Democratic Party continuously to the right. That's why he's trying to throw trans people under the bus. Look, at the end of the day, this guy works for his large corporate donors against the will of Democratic voters. And so I'm not shocked at all that he continues to blame the Democratic Party's losses on not being anti-trans enough. When in reality, of course, the policies that he tried hardest to stop, taxing the rich, regulating Wall Street, criminal justice reform, probably would have actually helped Harris win if she had been stronger on those issues. Okay. But again, what Harris had was a bunch of Obama staffers, Biden staffers that were just like Rahm Emanuel. Telling, oh, no, you can't go too left. Oh, no, why don't you suck up to Liz Cheney? You know, talk about the lethal military. No. Look, this guy hates progressive policies, and he absolutely despises progressives. Remember, he once called them the Arsler. Yeah. So, you know, yeah. I do love that even liberal podcasters, and I don't know her specific policies. Maybe she's more progressive than I'm thinking that she is. Okay. But even if she's not, you've got liberal podcasters calling him out to his face. I mean, I love that. Look, throwing trans people under the bus is not progressive. Blaming them for the loss of one of the most centrist milquetoast campaigns for the Democrats have run against a literal fascist is doing nothing but, enabling fascists. Saying, well, of course you need to get rid of, ignore trans people. No. We need to defend trans people vigorously. Explain to the American people who might not understand trans issues why the right wing is wrong. Okay? Look, Rahm Emanuel, speaking of things that are wrong, should be the face of all that has gone wrong with the Democrats over the last 20, 30 years. Their embrace of neoliberalism, the rejection of progressive policies are what got us where we are today. That's what got us Donald frickin' Trump. All right? And I happen to believe that the people that got us here should be the last ones that we should go to try to get us out. So, Rahm, sit the F down, shut the F up, and let us actually win. Let progressives take over, and we'll show you how to win. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.